Good day, everyone. I am your speaker today, Lu Feirong. Today, I'd like to present to you Taiwan beauty industry and its development. We will especially mention lash design industry later on. Let us take a look at the content. I will talk about beauty industry and how it has developed till today. I will also mention its chronology and its phase, the development and how it has evolved, as well as Taiwan's beauty industry, vocational education around it, and its trainings. I'm going to present to you in this lecture throughout the evolution in this particular industry in Taiwan. It has grown to be more versatile with more services, and I will talk about each one of them today. We will get to hear stories from our students from all over the world, stories about what made them come here to learn lash design, and issues they have encountered. You will learn the requirements in order to be an outstanding lash technician. We will particularly talk about the details and things to pay attention to if you're aiming to take up the career as a lash technician, as well as the expectations and future development in Taiwan's beauty industry, how we expect this industry to be, or the regulations around it in order to have a promising future in this field. Alright, so we will have to start from the year 1900. Actually, during the 1920s and 1930s in Taiwan's earliest beauty industry, threading was very popular. Perhaps many of you are familiar with it. Or perhaps for those of you who lived in Taiwan, it is quite common. You had probably seen in the traditional Taiwanese markets, threading treatment would take place by the technician with just 2 stools on the floor. No other special equipments. It is called bambing in Taiwanese dialect. The trend has ever grown smaller. If you still have no idea what threading is, take a look at the pictures here. Okay, if you haven't heard of threading, you could take a look at the picture on the top right. And you will notice 2 thin lines. Those are the equipments used for the treatment. Before we start threading, we powder a little on the face. After powdering, we use the 2 threads to scrape the face alternately. Through this gesture, we get to take away the excessive baby hair on the face. It is similar to hair plucking or hair tweezing. It is also for exfoliation, hair tweezing. Also, it could increase blood circulation on the facial skin. When we apply skincare products after the treatment, such as moisturizers and hydrating products, they could be better absorbed. However, speaking from the dermatology perspective, it is a concern when it comes to safety, hygiene, and disinfection. Therefore, as a reminder for you, although the powder is clean, the threads are clean, for people who have sensitive skin, this treatment could cause folliculitis or skin allergic reaction. If the client has existing pimples on the face, they could be transferred to other parts on the face with this treatment, and further cause bacillus acnes. Next up, in 1940 actually in Taiwan, this was when the first local cosmetic factory started. Most of the products from the factory included cleansing equipment such as shampoo, body wash, hand washing liquid, and lotion. These are mostly for cleaning purposes. At that time, hair products were the majority. The cosmetic production industry had stayed prosperous for a while until today. Further down in 1955, apart from domestic sales, it had evolved to exportation to other countries, including Hong Kong, the Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, and Vietnam. Products made in Taiwan were quite popular in these countries. In 1957, Taiwan government authorized the first foreign cosmetic brand to the local market. It was authorized to produce with ingredients sourced locally. In fact, slowly, majority of the cosmetic brands have started cosmetic production with factories in Taiwan. Let's take facial masks, for example. There is a great variety of products on the market. In 1973, cosmetic products in Taiwan were categorized into 15 groups. Thus became cosmetic management regulations. It is mainly to ensure the rights of customers. Due to the fact that more and more cosmetic factories have come into practice, there has to be regulations to regulate and authorize to approve if the products are safe to use. Therefore, environment hygiene and safety in the factories are all included in the Cosmetic Hygiene and Safety Management Law. Between 1993 and 2017, many universities and vocational schools started to have cosmetic or beauty-related department. It is to aim in developing more cosmetic talents in Taiwan, so that these talents could return to schools to teach more students, including understanding the ingredients found in the beauty products and their chemistry reactions, as well as the production process in order to create the desired products. Students could participate in the sterile laboratory and experiment on creating various products. On the other hand, it could contribute to bring innovation, research, and development to the future cosmetic company brands. Take 2012 for example. Taiwan consumed 100,000 pieces of facial masks. It is quite a massive number, to be honest. Nowadays, it is known to the world that Taiwanese people love to use facial masks. The height of all the facial masks consumed together equals the height of 10 Taipei 101 buildings. Almost everyone in every family has facial mask consumption. So facial masks in Taiwan have slowly evolved from luxury to daily supplies. The mask trend has in fact spread to all over the world, and many countries have grown to be a fan of masks made in Taiwan. Due to the fact that Taiwan's mask product quality and the management and environment hygiene have geared to international standards. Therefore, it is safe to use masks made in Taiwan. There has been a huge variety of masks on the market, such as the ones with patterns and gold masks. Here I will show you a rather special kind of mask. It is a black mask. It is designed for great moisturizing effect. So as you can see, the products on the market are getting more and more versatile. You put on a facial mask and leave it for 15 to 20 minutes. Take it down, and your face is sufficiently moisturized. You could apply the mask following the cut shapes of eyes, nose, and mouths on the masks. When you apply the mask on the face, make sure it is properly placed with no gaps or bubbles between the face and the mask. This will ensure the optimal effect for moisturization. Taiwanese people love using facial masks because it is easy to apply and very convenient as well. You could simply have a well-moisturized face after 15 to 20 minutes. In 2019, another cosmetic management and safety regulation came into practice. So since then, before launching to the market, every product has to have all the ingredients, sources, and factory names specified onto the specific website by the Ministry of Health and Welfare. This way, consumers from all over the world could search for the products and see the ingredients, sources, and production quality. It is safe and ensuring for every customer. Next up, we're going to talk about cosmetic factories in Taiwan have developed in these 40 years. Every brand and manufacturer has its own specialty as well as safety regulations. Also, the products it offers has to be effective. This will bring us to the ingredients. No illegal ingredients can be added in the product. Therefore, it has to be effective and safe at the same time. Environmental friendliness has grown to be a very popular topic internationally. So in Taiwan, it has included such aspect in cosmetic product production. Products from Taiwan are infused with the aspect as well. Cosmetic surgery products, or organic products, or even halal certification. Most of the manufacturers are following up and have these aspects taken care of. So products are well produced with good quality according to the regulation standards. The government came up with a regulation that is, for the professional technician qualification, it needs to pass the TTQS of the Workforce Development Agency, Ministry of Labor. Any training facility has to pass the TTQS in order to be qualified. We've covered the development throughout the past 40 years in the Taiwan beauty industry. In the past 20 years, though the development, Taiwan has evolved from producing cleaning products to skincare products to cosmetic products, coming into cosmetic products. A lot of colors could be applied onto the face. Products such as eyeshadows, eyebrow products like brow pencils, mascaras or foundations, tinted moisturizers, sunscreens are all included in the realm of cosmetic products. In the field of facial beauty, including facial treatment, skincare, or anti-aging. Slowly, it has led to cosmetic surgery. With more advanced medical technology, it can contribute and help with facial care. Therefore, more facilities such as laser equipments to improve the problem of facial spots or pimples. Or even pore problems. They are all related to medical surgery. Let's talk about hairdressing. General population would go to hair salons every month, every 2 months to 3 months to have different kinds of hair treatments, hair trimming, hair perm, or hair dyeing. This is beauty industry development over the last 20 years. Lastly, we will talk about the trending beauty industry. Mainly, it is about eyelash, manicure, pedicure, brow tattoo, micro tattooing. These are all very new and popular now in beauty industry. The current trend you will see, people are putting more attention on beauty. However, it is not only about outer beauty but also inner beauty. Therefore, nowadays, many people prefer the combined idea of well-being and beauty. Well-being, apart from different diets, it also involves general health and breathwork. So we can also extend to the meridian system in the body. Meridian system is relevant to our metabolism in the body with help of diet treatment. They can be combined with the existing beauty industry. Technology innovation and internet development, namely digital applications, apps, with regards to internet and technology. Communication between the beauty industry and platform. Health and beauty life. People are more aware of having a healthy lifestyle. Therefore, exercises such as yoga comes into place. Core workouts, gymming, these are all very relevant to our daily life and well-being, as well as healthy diets. Next up, we will talk about the use of skincare beauty products in replacement of plastic surgery. As I have mentioned earlier, beauty products such as cosmetics and skincare products have been on the market for more than 10 years. With the progression of technology, on the contrary, research and innovation teams are progressing as well. Therefore, many advanced skincare products can actually replace some plastic surgery operations. You could simply apply a tightening and lifting face cream and get the similar effect of a facelift operation. So as you can see, the products has grown to be more and more advanced along with technology. About the development of beauty equipments, namely cosmetic surgery equipments, many medical equipments are operated by certified doctors. In order to do the treatment, each equipment may require different operation and thus different effects. So more medical equipments are being used nowadays. Threading used to be treatment in the old times, using the threads to take away the facial hair. Take hair removal, for example. There are laser devices that could remove the hair permanently, and this treatment could be completed with the help of cosmetic beauty procedures. There are other skin conditions such as black spots, sunburn, ABM, or freckles that can be treated with laser devices. In the old times, atrophic acne scars were very difficult to treat. Nowadays, with Fraxel laser treatment, it could reach the stem cells in the deep skin tissue to treat and flatten the scar. So, as you can see, many devices are getting more advanced. It is rather easier to be beautiful. Another trend today is related to new technology of skincare. Actually, when doing the treatments, some dermatologists examine skins with the help of dedicated skin management devices. These devices show clearly if you have deeply pigmented spots. These spots are not visible, but they might surface in 2 years' time. The condition of the skin might be super dehydrated, so some parts of it are already sensitive. We can already see this clearly with the skin for preventing the problem to show up at a later stage. In fact, sometimes we could care for our skin by using simple skincare beauty devices at home. Therefore, because simple devices are getting more and more common, home skincare or beauty salon treatment could easily be done. People have better skin conditions, such as tightened skin nowadays. As a result, it had become harder to tell a person's age. Next, I'm going to talk about the vocational trainings of beauty industry. Starting from junior high schools, students can already learn about versatile education. Because many technological and vocational education institutes would take the opportunity to promote such trainings and skills. For students to see where their interests lie, so that before they enter senior high school, they could sign up for their interested subjects. So with this regard, Taiwan government has been doing a successful job. When one enters the senior high school with a chosen interested vocational skill, in the 3 years' time of high school, mostly is to set a solid foundation and build up slowly. They are taught theoretical knowledge and the way things work first in the school, with the help of practical exercises of the targeted skills. Then it comes with related national certification regulated by the government for students to obtain. Therefore, in the 3 years of senior high school, apart from the professional knowledge, there are also vocational education trainings. At this stage, you are mainly assessed on your basic and foundational skills. It has to be solid and firm. Next up, after graduation, people would find related jobs straight after graduation. Or another option is to further study the assessed skills. So one could choose to study at a vocational college or a university. Actually, the skills learned in the vocational colleges and universities. Take beauty industry, for instance. It is categorized in many groups, be it styling or cosmetic production. These are the courses found in colleges and universities. Especially in universities, one could learn various subjects in the division, including different experiments and refreshing activity to inspire students to practice more of beauty. This comes together with company internships outside of school. Or we have programs in partnership with practicing professionals. Professionals would return to the school and share their experiences in the field, as well as the future possibilities and directions. We also have industry academic cooperations for students to get on track with career opportunities in the real society. This could benefit in the development of the professional skills. So in the 4 years in the university, there are a great deal of things to learn about. After completion, you will be able to apply what you've learned in school in the industry with a certain level of expertise as well as excellent theoretical knowledge. Not everyone is professionally trained in the field or graduated from the required education system. For these people, the government provides extra assistance with vocation training from vocational training centers. These vocational training centers provides a new training way for the talents to develop professionally. The program could benefit more people who are interested in working in the industry with the proper guidance, as well as benefiting the industry itself to thrive. These training programs are for those who would like to find a job immediately right after graduation, change professions, or even for a startup. People who have the needs could take the courses throughout the training programs set up by the government. Currently, the vocational training programs are designed to meet the needs of market or relevant companies, which includes major enterprise. The training programs could correspond to the actual practical aspects of the skills. They are designed to help you go right into the work field and put what you learned into practice after a crash course. Therefore, vocational training centers are suitable for those who would like to change jobs or pursue a second career. These individuals would most probably choose to take vocational trainings and government courses. Nowadays, in fact, the service providers in the Taiwan beauty industry can be successful with more than one expertise. This business pattern has been different from the early stages. Nowadays, if you provide only one service, clients could easily go to other service providers eventually. Why is that? Reason being is that people now ask for effectiveness and efficiency. They wouldn't want to go to 3 places for 3 different beauty services. They would tend to go to a service provider that could cater to all their needs at the same time. The current trend in the beauty industry mostly takes a fusion approach, which means on top of hairstyling service, including haircut, hair dyeing, and styling, hairdressing skills in general. Let's say I also have facial treatment skills, so I could provide facial treatments or massages. Because I have both hairdressing and facial beauty skills, I could well establish these skills in an all-in-one service in different hairdressing or facial beauty work scenes. Therefore, after many industries become more and more successful, take beauty industry for example, it has developed to more service items, one of which is manicure and pedicure services. This service particularly has constant customers who would take it at least once a month, because people tend to change the design or nail hardness constantly, or even for nail extension. These customers would visit the salon every month for a styling session. Lash designing is also very popular. Customers would need to redo the lashes on a monthly basis because of the nature of lash growth cycle. Therefore, lash extensions on a monthly basis would be the most appropriate. One would need to redo at least these two services every single month. As a result, nail services and lash services have become the two basic services in a beauty salon. Next, we have tattooing. The current trend is semi-permanent brow tattoos, which means after 1.5 to 2 years, the tattoo would slowly fade away. So let's say every 2 years, one would need to replenish or restore the tattoo colors. Not everyone is good at drawing eyebrows or doing makeups, so this semi-permanent treatment will be a great way for them to have a makeover. It also saves time for many people. Nude looks could be achieved through beauty services as well. With regards to makeup, overall styling and micro-tattooing are considered long-lasting services. Next up, we will talk about skin management with medical technology, which we have briefly mentioned previously. Cosmetic beauty could target a skin examination to plan a systematic way of treatment. Many people would tend to think that their nose bridge is not tall enough, or the chin is not pointy enough. We could do some microplastic surgery with injection. Plastic surgery with medical laser devices. And here, I'd like to share with you experiences of many students from all over the world in my trainings. They have shared their personal experiences with me, so I get to learn from different cultures and understand what beauty industry is like in different countries, and how promising it is in each country. We tend to communicate and exchange information to understand the difficult cultures in beauty industry. I have a student who's in the United States. He's a hairstylist in Broadway shows. In the States, the certification system includes hairdressing and facial beauty or makeup art. Unlike Taiwan, where one could obtain all the different licenses and make a living out of them. In the States, it is rather categorized in a more detailed manner. For example, for someone who has a hairdressing certification, they would focus on hairdressing. This student of mine from Broadway shows is specialized in hairstyling. He had only a short stay when he came to Taiwan, around 2 weeks. He initially thought hairdressing and lash designing are two similar things, and decided to learn lash design, or perhaps he'd be interested in it. In the 2 weeks course, what one can learn is pretty limited, but at least he learned the basic skills. And he became interested in lash design and its relevant theories. Right after the course, he had to return to the States, because what he has just learned in the course was pretty basic, which couldn't be applied practically so he contacted me and asked to sign up for the advanced course in the next year. At the time, I thought, oh wow, in 1 year's time, maybe it means he's really interested in lash design. So 3 months prior to the training, he had been constantly reconfirming the availability with me. And eventually, he really flew all the way back to Taiwan to continue learning lash design. The second time around, he's very dedicated and diligent in the training. Whatever he didn't understand, he would ask questions to learn more. He only stayed for a week the second time around, and out of the 1 week, he spent 5 days in the training. He's been doing very successfully in the States. And he has been an outstanding professional in the industry. I guess this story could be shared with you all and inspire some of you. Lash designing could be very promising outside of Taiwan as well. Recently, because of the pandemic, many airline cabin crew members have gone through the process of a career change. Lots of cabin crew members have stopped flying in the time of crisis. So quite a lot of them would want to learn a second skill. During which time I met a student coming back from the Middle East. She has been living there for quite a while already, so she has a great understanding about the cultures there. The women in the Middle East dress themselves up in a rather conservative way, leaving only the eyes and eyebrows visible to the public. So when she came to learn lash design and lash extension, she said that lash extension is a very popular beauty service in the Middle East. Because of the body part that they could show to the public is limited. When she came to me, she shared with me how the local culture is like. She was especially diligent in the training. In the Middle East, generally women have more lashes, so they tend to have more dense lash extension design. This cabin crew member later on chose to pursue international certification and planned to open a beauty salon back in the Middle East. Of course, we could provide only limited information regarding opening a salon in places outside of Taiwan. I would tell my students to do their research about the local culture where they plan to open the salon and also understand how other people in the same industry operate their business in the neighboring area, as well as how much they charge for the services and the preferred customer profiles. I would ask my students to make sure they've done their research before running a business. If one doesn't have any idea how to do so, they could choose to work at a salon for a while before opening their own salons. This way, in my opinion, would be more secure and less risky. Another case is about a student in Canada. She had been a lash technician for a long period of time in Canada. I wondered why this practicing lash technician would want to take the course. So I asked her about the reason why she came to me. She said that when they were taking the training initially, they weren't taught about any theories. It was more like a mentorship. So she didn't know why we do what we do in the lash design. At the end, she didn't have a thorough, systematic understanding about her profession. So when she came to me the second time around, she finally realized the reason why we operate in a certain way in lash design. So I understood then, maybe she didn't get to learn the required professional knowledge to operate. It was only a skill acquired through mentorship. This could result in her not being able to showcase with versatile techniques and skills or different styles and designs. Although she has been a practicing lash technician for a long time, I still thought her skills needed to be improved in some aspects. Therefore, during the classes, I would tell her to be more aware of certain details. Despite that she's an experienced technician, she still took my feedback positively and slowly adjusted her techniques and became better in the service. I have also taught a student from Japan. She graduated from an American school and obtained the U.S. beauty license. I wanted to understand what was being taught in the school in the U.S. She told me that they learned a wide variety of items, including eyebrow tattooing. I asked her why she's still here for the training. She told me that it had learned a wide variety of specialties without having a further understanding and advanced techniques. We all know that Japanese technicians emphasize a lot on safety. So when she came to the training to learn lash extension, she had to put more attention on details. After studying in the States, she came to Taiwan for more advanced techniques. Why didn't she go to Japan for the advanced training then? I asked her. She told me that because Taiwan is renowned in lash design techniques. That's the reason why she came to Taiwan and planned to run her business in Japan. She also shared that because it could be very hard to open a salon right away, she was planning to offer home service for her customers, which is also a brilliant idea. She was very clear about her plans and dreams and how she could start her business in the future. And there was also a student from Australia. In Australia, it's quite common to communicate via WeChat. On WeChat, there is a chat group or a chat room. When they are reaching out to their customers or the other way around, apart from through the physical salon, customers could contact them in WeChat. The service is recommended through word of mouth. They offer home services with the help of WeChat. We all know that Indonesian and Vietnamese people love to be beautiful. In Taiwan, there's a lot of immigrants from these countries. Indonesia, Vietnam, and mainly China. I have found that they are very fond of beauty. So they are especially diligent in learning. They tend to have their personal business, which could inspire other friends from the same country to run the same business. There was also a student from the United Kingdom. It was a pretty special case. When she returned from the UK, she wanted to learn the techniques. It is generally affordable in Taiwan to learn the advanced techniques with quality. So she decided to learn the techniques before she returned to the UK. She tried hard to get the International Lash Design certification for the UK while she was in Taiwan for the training, so that when she went back to the UK, she could practice with her certificate locally. In my opinion, she was a very hardworking and ambitious student. Let's talk about the development of the lash design industry. Actually, more than 10 years ago, we already had this industry, but it seems that the industry was trendy for a while and died down slowly. If you look at the lash design in the earlier days, you would find that those lashes had some kind of emptiness. I myself have been doing lash extension a long time back. People used to stick the thick ear lashes directly on the eyelets or the existing eyelashes. This way, because eyelashes have their growth cycle just like hair. Each growth phase has different cycles. So when you apply the whole piece of eyelashes onto the thin hair, you would find it uncomfortable and stimulating. When lashes in different growth cycles but are forced to pull one another, it could lead to hair fall. This hair fall is due to external force. Therefore, the lashes could look empty. With such emptiness, the original hair would not grow back healthily. So eventually less people will want to have their lash extended. After a period of time, lash design became trendy again. Lash grafting became popular. What is lash grafting? It is similar to hair growing. It is to plant and grow the hair on the eyelids through the help of surgery. It is to take out the hair follicle from the back of the scalp and plant it onto the eyelashes. There's one thing worth noticing. The hair growth cycle is different from the eyelash growth cycle. It is faster than eyelashes growth cycle. So you can easily find the part where the hair follicle was planted look way longer than the original eyelashes after 2 to 3 months. It requires frequent trimming. So this became a problem for the consumers. After a while the techniques become more mature and advanced, with the techniques becoming more mature and advanced, the beauty standards become higher. To simply put, we paste the artificial silk fiber eyelashes to real eyelashes. We would use a model head like this to practice. Students need to practice the techniques on the model heads since it's not suitable to practice on a real human. We need to use eye masks to fixate the lower eyelashes. When we practice, we use the fake eyelashes to apply. These fake eyelashes could be teared down and pasted onto the eyes. When we are learning, we practice like this. We paste the lashes as the real eyelashes of a human. Then we can start practicing lash grafting. There are many kinds of lash fibers. There are different thickness and quality of lashes. Take this for example, the thickness is the 0.15 fiber. So it is very close to the thickness of the real eyelashes. Next up, we have thinner eyelashes. We use them as a flower that has the blooming effect. So it looks like a bouquet. We can paste this bouquet onto one eyelash. As you can see in the bouquet of eyelashes after completion, the eyes would look very bright and dense. We have a variety of lash styles. Apart from thickness, the number of lashes can also create a different effect. Some people like the use of colored eyelashes. In Taiwan, mostly the colored lashes are applied partially onto the part where they are needed as decoration. Mostly, they are placed on the corner of the eye. For Vietnamese eyelash styles, colored eyelashes would be applied in a bolder way. The techniques are very important when we are grafting the eyelashes. Both hands need to be used. We need to use one hand to move other lashes before we paste the eyelash. In the earlier days, all the eyelashes are stuck together. This technique is very different from that. The tweezers are very sharp, so be extra careful of it. If you accidentally touch the eyes with a tweezer, you injure the eyes, or even lead to blindness. Therefore, be extra aware of your hand gestures. Find out the eyelash you want to graft the fiber on, and then you start grafting. One thing I'd like to share with you all is what qualities you need to have to be able to be an outstanding lash technician. I have mentioned the student who was an experienced practicing lash technician. If one doesn't understand the way things work in theory, it is hard to create such variation in the design. You might end up doing the same design over and over again. When you understand more technical theories, you can do more changes. For example, how to do a different design. How do you use the lashes you have to create different colors? Therefore, you have to have the basic professional theoretical knowledge. Practical techniques are required to be sharpened in a long-term manner. At the beginning of the training, you have to practice with the model heads, and then slowly transfer to real humans. When you practice on real humans, you have to especially take note of safety, hygiene, and disinfection, you cannot use the same set of tools on different customers. Viruses or bacteria could be passed on to the next customer. So it is important to disinfect your equipment. In every industry, hygiene education is significantly important. Customers have to take care of their eyelashes after the treatment, so we need to educate them on hygiene. If you fail to give them hygiene education, they don't know how to maintain the eyelashes. After several days or a week, eyelashes would start to fall. Therefore, we have to give the proper education to the customers. It would also require great patience and perseverance. Eyelash fibers are very thin and tiny, so the way they are applied to the real eyelashes has to be delicate. If you're not careful enough, you could poke customers' eyes, and that is highly dangerous. Communication skills with customers. We have demonstrated how to graft eyelashes. Thorough communication is needed in letting customers know the amount of eyelashes and then thickness. After communication, we could suggest them the thickness for eyelash grafting, whether they prefer more dense or more natural, which is related to the thickness and number of eyelashes to be used. You need to be attentive and patient enough to deliver the detailed services. You could also use the help of pictures or photos to explain the style to the customers for better understanding of the final result. You might also have to look into running the business and taking yourself as a brand. Branding is key. If you're just like anybody else, people wouldn't come to you for their service. You have to have something special about your services. It includes your interaction with customers, professionalism, and environmental hygiene. You will have to run your business as a brand with your own artworks and advertise your own work. These are aspects for a lash technician to take care of. Also, store management is about arranging customer bookings and staff management, or finance and service item management as well. Being a lash technician is not only about techniques. As a result, to be a successful lash technician, you will have to take care of these requirements. In my classes, many students ask me questions, such as, I have compiled some common questions from students, such as, the eyelash fibers are too tiny. However, when you really operate with a real human, the hair are even tinier. So I tend to ask students if they can't see clearly or if it's in other situations. If a technician has presbyopia, nearsightedness, or astigmatism, I would ask them to have a pair of eyeglasses prescribed so that they would find it easier to do the service and see more clearly. Or when students can see the hair but can't seem to fetch it, how they are going to paste the fibers on it. This is because they are not familiar with the techniques yet. This is just a learning process. Some people might find it easy to fish the fiber. Some might take longer to do with such success. I personally also took quite a while to get used to it. I couldn't see where the lash was and I second-guessed myself. These are the common issues that I see in students. When you practice more and more, you will be able to fetch the hairs more easily and paste the fibers onto them. It takes time and effort to accumulate the skills. Some say eyelash grafting damaged the eyes. Will my eyes get worsened with eyelash grafting? The reason why students would ask this kind of questions could be because that they don't have the patience to keep learning. Lash extension or lash grafting is a delicate job and requires extra care and caution. When you're not prepared for it, you wouldn't find it smooth throughout the process. In general, lash grafting or lash extension doesn't injure the eyes unless one doesn't take enough of rest, so your eye pressure will become too high. In this case, you will have to find the balance. When you find your eyes too dry, you could take supplements or eye drops to enhance your vision. Some people complain they have discomfort after the treatment. Why is that? If you follow the standard procedure, you wouldn't find it a problem. You might have applied too much glue on the eyelid so that many lashes are stuck together. It could be possible that before the glue dries up, you opened your eyes. In order to prevent such problems happening, a lash technician needs to practice a lot more. The situation could happen when you have eye inflammation, such as pink eyes or eye styes. When you really have customers that have these conditions, be sure to seek help from the professional opticians for further treatment. Some may ask, can I do the treatment if I had eye surgeries? Well, it depends on the type of surgery. Take double eyelid or lower lid surgery, for example. We can expect how long these operations take to recover. It could be 1 or 2 months. We could estimate a time of 3 months gap before the eyelash grafting. The wounds will have healed up by then and it won't affect the eyelash grafting. Some might ask, what if it's laser operation? It can be for presbyopia or nearsightedness. These are rather more delicate operations. In order to ensure the safety of the customers, we suggest avoiding doing eyelash extension. We recommend at least 3 to 6 months for recovery before the lash extension. We have to wait for the eyes to recover well enough to do the service. Some might ask, how do I conquer the mental block to get in contact with a real human for practice? In this case, we tend to have practical sessions where teachers would stand next to you and observe your techniques and safety measures. You will be more confident after practicing for 2 to 3 times. Then that is when you could finally do the actual service. Some might ask, how do I communicate with customers? If you don't know how to communicate effectively, you could simply showcase the samples of lash thickness and quality to them. It also provides them with detailed curveness and shapes. You could present the photos to customers and ask them if they like it. It is the easiest to showcase with photos for them to know which item of service is best suited for them. Some might ask, how much does it cost to open a salon? I could tend to share with my students that in the lash design industry, the cost of materials are considered more affordable and cheaper than other beauty industries. The majority of the expenses could be the shop rental or the manpower. These would take up the main cost. Lash design doesn't require that many equipments as they are rather light. So, as a lash technician, you could have a personal handbag for work. It is very easy to provide home service as well with a light bag. So, relatively, lash designing doesn't require that much money and cost. You could choose to provide home service. If you're considering opening a shop, then money would play a bigger part in your expenses. As for how much does it take to open a shop, it depends on the scale of the shop. The more decoration you have or the bigger scale the shop is, the more it will cost you. As for the expectation for the Taiwan beauty industry, I hope that whoever is planning to join the beauty industry has to be proactive and positive. Because if you're not proactive enough, you might face a lot of problems in the process of learning. You might feel defeated easily. After all, it is technical. The techniques requires time and effort. Therefore, when you have the right mindset, no matter the situation you face, you will be able to handle it more easily. During your startups, it is quite common to feel defeated. For those of you who are already practicing in the beauty industry, the suggestions I'd like to give you is, apart from having professional knowledge and communication skills, you could obtain more advanced certification through professional vocational courses. We could choose to do it with more authoritative institutes and government units for the international certification, so that it will help you to grow exponentially and more professionally. You could also participate in competitions for you to improve yourself. In this industry, I would also like to give advices to teachers to teach with different methods according to different students. You should carefully instruct your different students with different ways of communication for them to understand better. As for educational system and units, I hope that in the future the government could have a system to unify the lash design courses out there. That way, the quality of professional teachers and required certification could reach to the standard and quality, so that in the industry, professionals could be of better quality and professionalism. That is my lecture today. Thank you.